Welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles Weekly Pick'em 2020. I'm your girl, the Gransberry, and I'm back for week 2. And I got both of my co-hosts joining me tonight. It's Brandon Patterson and D Jones ready for week 2. Now, last week, I took a 1-point lead over my boy D Jones on our picks. I got 12, he got 11. It's running close. But this week, it gets a little tougher. We had some injuries last week in week 1. We had some shakeups, some surprises, not so much surprises, and some consistent play. So, guys, are you ready for week 2? Let's do this.
Let's go.
All right, Thursday night game.
Let's go.
Battle of Little Ohio. Oh. We don't even need to talk about this long. I'm going with the rookie because Baker ain't been giving me anything that looked like a good kitchen full of cooks. So I'm out. What about you guys? I'm going with Cincinnati.
Well, I'm going with Cleveland. I expect Cleveland to bounce back after last week. We knew they weren't going to show up too much against Baltimore. I think, although Cincinnati did look pretty decent last week, they impressed me. And then Fat Randy is all of a sudden hurt when he missed that field goal at the end. But I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I'm gonna go with Baker and Odell.
B, you riding with Odell or you riding with the new kid fresh off the ring?
I'm going to go with Cleveland. Cincinnati should have won last week, but Randy missed that field goal. I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think they'll have a bounce back, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Y'all and all this bounce back, but whatever. I'm gonna let you guys stick together on that, and I'm gonna ride solo. Now we're gonna move right on into Sunday, and we got the Giants for Chicago. I'm not really giving this game much attention. You know, Trubisky found a win last weekend, and that's what he did. He found one. And I think the Giants tried to start out strong. It was slow, but they were still strong. They were still in the game. And then, the Steelers took off. So this time, I'm going to go with.
Steady long.
I think the Giants will pull it out this time. No, wait, they got injuries. I'm going with the Bears. Sorry. Hey, it's my show. I can change my mind.
Don't we know?
So, you tell us what you got.
I'm riding with Chicago defense. The Giants last week, they struggled against Pittsburgh in the second half. They were disciplined, but they still struggled. Better football team. To me, the better football team is Chicago Bears, period.
Barely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chicago favored in this one by 6.5. I'm joining you guys. I'm going with Chicago this week. They surprised us last week, but that was against Detroit. So I think the Giants' offense looked like it has some promise, but I'm gonna go Chicago.
So the next game is Atlanta versus Dallas. Both teams took an L in week 1. I knew that Atlanta was planning to take that L. All right, shout out to D Jones. But Dallas, I was surprised. I think we both picked Dallas to beat the Rams. We were thinking more consistency, weapons. But I guess Dallas is going Dallas. And so with that in mind, I think with Atlanta being on the road and no fans, I'm still going with Dallas.
All right, this one, Dallas is favored at home by 5. I was surprised that they didn't look as good as they should have last week. I'll get to my apology once we get to the Seattle game, but I'm gonna go with Dallas in this one. I'm losing trust in Atlanta by the week, so I'm gonna go with Dallas on this one.
Where did you get the trust from? But anyway,
slow.
I was just about to ask the same thing. Let's make it a clean sweep. Let's go Dallas. Dallas should have won last week. They're going to get this one. I just don't see Atlanta shaking the early losses, and Dan Quinn might be in trouble.
He should have been on the hot seat. This ain't even a COVID effect. But next up, we got Detroit versus Green Bay. I don't think we need to talk about this much. Green Bay.
Green Bay.
You already know I rock 12 in
Yes,
Green
we
Bay.
know, Mr. Two Team Lover. We got to bring this up as much as possible, Mr. Two Team Lover. But
Hey, did he not look like he was motivated?
he delivered. He
Oh yeah,
delivered, but
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
I don't think we ever doubted his skill set. So we don't even have to worry about that part. So that game was won, and he still had left something left in the tank if they tried it. So
Yeah,
we're gonna move on to another game that I don't want to think about too long because this is a division matchup for the AFC South, and that would be Jacksonville versus Tennessee. I don't know how they let Jacksonville win in week 1. But then again, this Rivers thing, we've seen it before. He's good for a couple of picks, and they always at the wrong time. So I don't know why we were that surprised. I think we just thought that they would be a little bit better than Jacksonville. But also, we have to remember they had injuries during the game. They lost the running back. So that changes the run game. You start throwing the ball more. The more you got to throw the ball, the more Rivers throws the ball into the river. But there's always somebody else on the other team to catch it. So that's probably the problem. I'm going Tennessee, especially after what I saw on Monday Night Football. Derek and I chatted about that game, and I said, if this game is close in the last 2 to 3 minutes, it's all Tennessee because I trust Coach Babel to come up with something to find a win. And if I wasn't on the field, dang near in Denver to call that play in that game, it was just like I predicted. What you got, B?
I'm going with Tennessee. Running game. They have an identity. That's the one thing they know. They know their identity and they believe in that identity. I hate to say it, but that's what they do. And I just, Jacksonville, they're well coached as well, but they're young. Go ahead and go with Tennessee.
yeah. Jacksonville shocked the world last week with the way that they played. Even with a down Indy, I still, I already told you if you're in the survivor pick'em league, just go ahead and ride with whoever's picking Jacksonville. I ain't changing, so I'm going Tennessee as well.
Even though he ruined y'all week 1. But
He
anyway,
did, he did
Yes, sure
for
did.
sure.
Minnesota versus Indianapolis. I don't think it's going to be too much bounce back. I'm going Minnesota. I don't think it's much to talk about. I'm not really a Kirk fan, but I'll give Kirk a better shot over Rivers, even at home.
Yeah,
B,
what I saw from Minnesota last week, I'm sorry I jumped in, but what I saw from Minnesota last week against Green Bay, their offense picked up in the second half, even though it was kind of, from behind, they got a little rhythm going. I think they carry that into this week, and I say Minnesota as well.
I'm going with Minnesota for sure. I just don't trust Philip Rivers. Last year I saw him play against the Texans, and I was like, man, wow, this is the end. But it wasn't the end because Indy picked him up. So I I just trust Gary Kubiak coming up with the nice little tight end scheme. They got like 85 tight ends, and I just think Minnesota's just gonna bounce back from the Green Bay loss.
well, before we get into our next game, I want to tell all of our viewers and listeners about some amazing popcorn. Yes, that's Pop Carlisle's popcorn. My boy D Jones is showing you one of his favorite flavors, cinnamon toast. Now, look, I love the sweetheart, the caramel. I could go on and on, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But the reason I bring up popcorn because the game that we're going to mention next, you definitely want to take a popcorn break. You might even want to stay gone the whole game. It's up to you. But if you need popcorn, catch that code at 25% off using the Gransberry at your checkout. I want you to get some. Now, we back on track and let's move on to that next game. And boy, I tell you, it's just a popcorn time because I don't think anybody cares about Miami and Buffalo. Now, we're not saying we don't care about Buffalo, but we dang sure don't care about Miami. And we had good jokes last week. We didn't know if we was going to get Fitzpatrick or Fitz Magic. We definitely didn't see Magic unless it included giving the ball to the other team without them having to do much. So, guys, I'm definitely going Buffalo. D Jones, what you got?
Oh, this is easy. Buffalo favorite by 5.5. that defense is stellar. The offense was doing whatever they wanted to. Seemed like the quarterback stuff, something is clicking for him. He knows his limits. He needs to stop fumbling the ball when he decides that he's going to run.
He always manages to pick it right back up. It's like he fumbles right within his own perimeter. It's amazing how he does that, but he does.
Yeah, but he lost 2 Sunday. So
I know.
He needs to make sure he holds on to that rock. That's 2 more touchdowns they could have had, and the game was already out of whack anyway. But yeah, this is Buffalo all day. What you got, B?
Make it a sweep. I'm going Buffalo all day. I just don't. They might as well start playing 2 in Miami. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, well, they must got their reasons. So we're going to move on to, we got the San Francisco 49ers, and they're going to be headed out to play the New York Jets in New York. And we definitely won't be singing Alicia Keys' Hook, New York on Sunday, because it's going to be all 49ers. It's going to be a bounce back from a close game, taking a loss. And it's definitely not going to be about the Jets. I don't even know why they still calling themselves a airplane, because that thing does not take off. So they might as well turn it into a museum. At this point, I don't think Le'Veon's going to be playing. And I mean, it's just disaster after disaster. They got their own kind of curse going on. So I'm going with the 49ers on the road. D. Jones. Well, every time I say one name, y'all decide the other one want to talk. So B. Jones. I'm gonna just say B. Jones, and then whoever talk first, I'm safe.
Go ahead, B.
I totally agree. That flight is going to be well worth it for San Francisco. They're going to get that win, and no Bell. Then you got Adam Gase is the coach. Don't know what he wants to
you
call.
You can say that part again.
I mean, don't know what he's called. I mean, I want to see Frank Gore do his thing. First start for the Jets, but no, I'm going San Francisco.
Okay. D. Jones, what's up?
I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. San Francisco.
I appreciate that. We moving right along quick. I ain't gonna take up too much of your time, other than I've been to the great state of Pennsylvania, and I trotted on over to see those Eagles play, and I'm still not picking them against the Rams at home. Wentz is wimping out, and I don't think it was ever too much there in the first place, but I'm going Rams, and we don't even really have to talk about it. They got cheated on the last play of the game. That doesn't mean they still would have won, but I do think it was a bad call, even for Old Faithful from the AFC South, now relocated. So I'm going Rams. D. Jones.
I struggled with this one. Rams only favored by a point, but
of course,
I think it will be close. But I'm getting to the point. I don't know which Philly team gonna show up. So, and I'm getting nervous because we picking all the same picks, so I can't catch up if we all picking the same picks.
Is that how we gonna pick? Is that what we gonna do? You know what? You know what?
Oh, slow down. I'm going with the Rams, but just want to throw that out there.
I mean, you can fly, eagle fly. If that's what you want to do, but you're gonna be dead bird landing, whatever. What's up?
They got to show me something first.
I'm going with Philly.
Okay.
I mean, it's a flight for the Rams. I think Philly actually plays better with their backs against the wall. Even if Wentz gets hurt, you still got Hurts that's going to at least do something. But I'm going with Philly. They're at home.
Yeah,
they didn't feel that wall. They didn't feel that wall in Washington last week.
First of all,
they need to win. So
right, Hurts is still a rookie, all new system, and has nothing to do with skill set. It's also about adjustment. Okay, we see that even with Burrow being a rookie playing,
right,
and so I wouldn't give all that to the Rams. I'm gonna give a little bit more credit to Rams coaching to be able to manage that better if they get a rookie quarterback under center for the Eagles. So I would hope they wouldn't have to go to that route, just because I don't wish injury on anyone. So either way. Now, moving on to Denver and Pittsburgh, I think this would be 2 good defenses. The only problem is Denver lost some crucial pieces on offense during the game on Monday night, and I don't think all of those guys are going to be good to go this next round. So Pittsburgh looked nice. just nice. Keeping with the history of a great defense. Ben stepping right back up in there like he never left us. And so I'm going to go with the Steelers. B.
I'll take Pittsburgh.
You'll take
I'll
it,
take
D?
Pittsburgh. That's it.
Pittsburgh favored by 6.5.
That's
I,
a good.
I want to
That's a
I,
big
I
one.
want to see Denver. I want to see Denver do well, or do better. But Pittsburgh looked really, really good last week. Once they got going, I think it took them a minute in that first half to get going. But once they got going, even with Connor going down, they just put another running back in there and kept on plugging. So I'm going Pittsburgh as well.
So we got Denver and Pittsburgh, but I know I already said what I had to say, but I just still feel bad. Okay, I don't have time to feel bad. It's no time for sympathy. Anyway, we have to move on to Carolina and Tampa Bay because I'm gonna tell you who I don't feel sorry for. T12. Anyway, I think he's gonna have a bounce back. I feel I was quite surprised by coach's comments, but it is what it is. That was a different look to hear a coach actually take out the quarterback in his comments.
Right.
That was something very new. I think with the ego of Brady, he'll have a much better game. That's a new coach in Carolina. They still gonna probably struggle a little bit, give or take. If he don't have his weapons in Tampa, I think Teddy can get that win. I'm gonna go with Teddy. I'm giving it to Carolina. I'm gonna let him get his first win on the board with a new coach. D Jones, what you got for me? We separating now? We got some separation?
We might on this one. I love Teddy and I like McCaffrey. Thought they was solid last week, but last week was against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think it's gonna be something totally different this week. And I do expect Tom Terrific to turn around and bounce back and meet the challenge that his coach put before him. Tampa Bay is favored by 9. It's a large one. So I'm going Tampa Bay on this
Just because of the insults. Jeez.
one.
I just don't see Tampa losing to starting off 0-2, not a Brady team. I think
Because
Tampa's
I was
gonna
going to
win.
say Tampa done started 0-2. Okay, but go
I
ahead.
know, not a Brady team. That's why I checked
Okay.
myself. I just see Tampa winning their first home game with that, and Carolina. They looked real solid, and I love Teddy, but I'm going with. But I don't think it's going to be a 9.5 point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a high number. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tampa.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
y'all
shout out,
go ahead.
shout out to Teddy for that 75, 80-yard bomb he threw.
Oh yes,
Shout out
yes,
to
sir.
Teddy.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm
even though
looking
it's
for
bad,
Teddy.
but shout out for Teddy. We're gonna give Teddy the credit.
So the next one, we got the Redskins traveling all the way out to Arizona. Oh, I apologize. That's not their name anymore. The football team. So I definitely apologize for that. It's a total adjustment. The football team. Thought everybody was the football team, but they don't want to pick a name. So the football team found a win, rallied around their second year quarterback. He's ready to keep pounding the ground and with another second year quarterback. So this is the battle of the two second year quarterbacks. So, one has this receiver that's, been a little mouthy about his talents moving on, but that's fair. But I'm still gonna give it to probably Arizona at home. So what you think, D Jones?
That receiver's been mouthy, but that receiver show put up some gaudy numbers last
I
week.
I
know.
did.
That's what I
So so
said.
it's one of those I can't even say nothing till something else happens. They shocked us by beating San Fran on the road. I don't think it's and Washington shocked us too. Shout out to
Correct.
these two young African American quarterbacks. One of many that started last week. Shout out to them boys for putting up numbers and performing. I'm gonna go with Arizona on this one. I just think Washington shocked us. I think they're gonna come back down to what we expect from them this week. But good win for them last week. Arizona take the win this week.
B,
What
what
you
you
got,
got
B?
for me?
I got Arizona. They're at home, and I think it's going to be a very close game, and just go from there. I was proud to see both of Haskins and and Murray do their thing. And then, if you don't got D Hop, he has Fitzgerald. I mean, I just
He
think
gonna
they're
always
gonna
have D Hop. I don't know why you say if you don't have D Hop.
so he's gonna do that. So, but D Hop is gonna continue talking this week. They're gonna win.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Well,
before you go to the next one, shout out to Chase Young. That boy was feasting for
balling.
Washington
Oh
last
man,
week.
he was
Oh my
man.
Woo!
God. Oh, it didn't matter how many people they had on him. He was just going through them.
I
So
mean, but were we ever doubting that?
no,
Well,
no, no.
I
But
know. I mean,
it's
like
to
we
actually see it though. Game one.
yes,
game
after
one.
he whooped up on my Huskers last year. Oh yeah.
Okay, moving on. And that takes us everybody whooped up on your Huskers. Kansas City versus the Chargers. That's gonna be another whooping. I don't even think we get to discuss it. The Super Bowl champs will follow back up with another win this weekend, and the Chargers won't even be charged up enough to go. So I think we got a sweep on this, but I'll check with you guys just to see. D Jones, B, you want to tell me your thoughts? Because I really don't think they're gonna be too much different than mine.
Man, Kansas City last week against the Texans looked like on offense they was playing with like 12, 13 players out there. It was always somebody open. It was just they were everything that we thought they were going to be, and then a little bit more. So this is Kansas City with an 8.5 point favorite. Kansas City all day.
All right,
Brandon.
Kansas City.
Okay. Well, now we're gonna move on to Baltimore versus Houston. And I'm gonna put you guys up and let you guys talk after me. But last year I sat in that cold weather and watched the destruction as the score just spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. And this time they're at home, even though there are no fans in the stadium for their home opener. I'm really concerned about the run game after what I saw against stopping the run against Kansas City. So, in all honesty, as much as I love my team, I'll be cheering for my team. I still have the Ravens pick to win. Lamar looked like he started right back where he left off from last year. He had a great week one against Cleveland. And we seem to be bleeding a little bit in the middle with stopping the run. And I mean, between Lamar and his legs and connecting with Hollywood Brown, I think we don't have enough that I've seen yet on defense to slow that offense down. But I'm gonna let you guys battle it.
Well, I'll say one thing. Last week Texans did struggle with the run, but I think that was the Texans trying to pick their poison. They were trying to cover the receivers and try to make Pat Mahomes take the ball out of Pat Mahomes' hand and give it to the rookie running back, thinking that that was going to be a good game plan. But he shocked those guys and ran very very well. Again, I always thought Kansas City either had an extra player on the team or the Texans were playing with only 10. So something was wrong there. I'm actually picking the upset this week. I'm picking Houston
Wow.
to actually show up. And I think like Natasha said, the game last year got out of hand real quick and the numbers start to spiral. I don't think that's going to happen here. I think they're going to stand up. I think they're going to stop the run, or not necessarily stop the run, but slow down the run a little bit. Maybe put a spy on Lamar, put safety on top of Hollywood, and then take care of everything in the middle. So I'm picking the upset here and going with Houston.
Okay, Brandon, before you get to talk, I'm gonna pull one of my best friend moments. It's one of those moments where I get all wound up and I make my decision and I'm frustrated. And then normally during the game, I'll text D Jones and he'll calm me down. We watching the same game and he'll calm me down. And then I come back to a little bit of reality. I'm cheering for my team. I changed my pick. So I changed my pick. I'm going with the
Lord.
Texans. I mean, it's my team and it had me up all night. I can't never, it's a struggle. I mean, it was a
Last week you
struggle.
picked the Texans, then you switched to Kansas City. So this
No,
week
because
you
you
picking
bullied me.
Baltimore.
You bullied me into switching. It seems like whenever we get to the Texans, I can't. It's so hard on me. It's so hard on me.
So I
But I
believe you to
mean,
switch this week too.
you well, last week it was the Super Bowl champs, and this week it's redemption. So it's like I can't disagree with those thoughts. I mean, it's not like the game is going on and now I changed my mind. We about to win. We about to win. I said we was gonna win. I said we was gonna win. So, Brandon, what's your thoughts?
Well, last week against Kansas City, the Texans had to pick their poison on the defensive side. They played two safeties high, trying to protect the long ball, and then the middle of the field. And for some reason, the rookie running back was actually a slippery tackle. They couldn't tackle. So this week they're going to have to get down and tackle if they want to win this game. If you remember last year's game, Baltimore had that one turnover. The Texans had one turnover, and everything went out of control. So, and I'm hoping they keep the ball in control. But I think the Texans offense is actually going to do better than they did last week. So I'm gonna go Homer Texans.
Well, let's be
Wow.
clear. I thought that they would do better anyway, so that wasn't my concern. That's why I originally only mentioned the defense about the
Right.
run, but also because I was missing Reader. But you know, I'll get over
Well,
that too.
if they put PJ Hall, if he did did the little things that he did last week and give maybe about another 10 to 15 more snaps, I think PJ Hall can at least show what he can do. They actually did look pretty good when he was in there. I'm more concerned about the middle linebacking spot. I'm hoping McKinney will be back to his tackling machine ways.
Well,
Well,
the thing there too is he might have to. Well, they'll probably put Zach. They're gonna have to cover them tight ends too.
Correct.
So McKinney's gonna have to focus on tackling, and Zach gonna have to focus on the tight ends. But I agree with you with PJ Hall. It seemed like they had him in there just for goal line a lot, and he was stopping them boys up the middle and goal line. So I expect to see him get more reps too.
Let's not talk about the interception that was called back. But okay.
we won't.
Yeah, we
We
won't.
move on from that because this is Pick'ems. This is not pick apart the loss.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to Monday night's game. It's the Saints versus the Raiders. I don't think we require much thought. I think I can call a clean sweep for the Saints. Do I hear any backlog on that? Okay,
No.
so we all picking the Saints. Now it's time to move on to the game of the week. That's right. It's going to be New England versus Seattle in Seattle. This would have been a fantastic game to catch, but we all know due to social distancing and protections for all safety, there will be no fans joining that game. We'll all have to watch it on TV. I expect another high-rated game. And I'm excited on both sides because these are two great, awesome black quarterbacks who've both been in Super Bowls. One's a champion. Well, both are champions in their own right. So let's be clear about that. But one is a Super Bowl champion. And so I'm looking forward to Sunday afternoon, but I'm going to give this little edge to the home team. I think it's going to be a good battle. I actually expect a very good battle because Belichick is running plays that are specifically designed for Cam. And you can see it. He's using his legs. He's looking healthy. He's looking great. And we know Russell got them legs. And after my boy D Jones didn't pick him on the road last week, I know he's not going against him at home for a win with baby win. Talk to me, D Jones, because I want to hear what you got to say first.
I got to first of all apologize to Dangerous for disrespecting him like that last week. Um, hey, I'm a man. I can admit when I'm wrong. As soon as that game started, I was like, "What did I do?" I think I picked the wrong team. So, yeah. So I'm definitely gonna go back to my right mind this week, and I'm going with Dangerous at home, Seattle at home. I love what Cam did with New England. I love seeing him ball out, especially since they gave him that minimum contract. I love to see him ball out. Hope he hit every incentive on his contract, but I think they're gonna fall short on the scoreboard this week, and I'm going Seattle. What you say, B?
I'm going with Seattle. You got to remember the air quality control. The air controls going on with the wildfires. I think Seattle's just ready for that. The trip. for New England is going to be long, but I hope both of them. I hope both quarterbacks uh, do a great job. So, but I think Seattle's going to win by a field goal.
Oh, you're gonna go ahead and put it out there like that, down to the
By a
field
field goal.
goal. Okay,
Field goal.
okay. What you gonna put on
Hmm.
that? You gonna put some popcorn on that? Cause
I'll put some popcorn on it.
okay. If it's the
Well, they favored
spread
by
is
4. The spread is 4. Give them 4 points.
Yeah.
you asking me to give him something? I don't think so.
No, no, no,
No,
no, no. That mean they got to win by more than 4. He say a field goal.
no, that's
Don't
what
Field
he
goal.
go
say.
all the way out.
So I
All
already
right.
got my order ready. Caramel and sweetheart. That's what I
All right,
want.
look, let's
Hey,
go.
let's go. So
I
the
got
only thing, the only thing I want to follow back up on about, the New England game, we keep talking about the flights. That was one of the things that Dee mentioned last week about the flight all the way to Atlanta. Even though I know the guys are flying, I think that the stress level is a little different because you're flying and you're resting, and there's absolutely no fans. So the minimized parts of dealing with when you arrive and, trying to normally try to see your family or your friends for a few minutes that come in town. And because of the social distancing, you're pretty much landing and preparing, staying in that whole lockdown for a game mode. I just think that the flying is not going to be that big of an issue this season for most teams. I mean, that's just my, side process on that, but I could be wrong. We'll see. I mean, I'm still picking Seattle, even if New England flew an hour, at this point. I just think that Seattle's very comfortable at home anyway, with or without fans. And D Jones, we've seen that beautiful stadium. I mean, so even with, like Brandon, you said about the air quality, they're supposed to try to get some rain before then, so the rain will kind of clear the air a little bit, and hope for the best. But I'm looking forward to seeing if I can increase my lead, keep my lead, and see where we fall in by Monday late night. But we will see you next time on the Gransberries Pick'em, and get ready for it because we headed into week 3. And I think it's going to be some good separation. So I want to thank my listeners and viewers. Brandon, thank you for finally joining us in week 2. D Jones, it was good to see you again. I know you're trailing right behind me and ready to catch me, but tell the people where they can find you at before we leave, Mr. D Jones.
You can find me on Facebook at Derek Jones, and you find me on Instagram at djones9804. Holla at me.
Holla at you. See if they're gonna come at you about them takes. And we're gonna let Mr. Field Goal winner. I bet he gonna be doing better than Randy with his hamburgers. So we gonna tell y'all check out Coach B Pat on Twitter and Instagram, and check him out when you get a chance, and let him know if his field goal prediction is correct. Well, guys, that's it for this week. Catch you next time.